I want to know how the visuals to Bastardash come and play.
Yeah, so um I mean, honestly, this is kind of back in the day when, this is kind of like pre-Twitch and pre almost kind of more like it's like I want to say like around 2010, that I kind of had already sort of gone like pretty much on my hiatus where I was just like not really like trying to be a musical producer, but I kind of made music and worked on music kind of more for myself.
Hmm.
And But I also kind of you know, like to make music videos, I guess, with that. So and I think the idea sort of derived that if I did have a project to me to me, I guess kind of growing up in that MTV generation, that I would sit around like when I can remember being like God, I can remember being like almost like 9, 10, 11, 12. Sometimes I would stay up like so late at night just to watch like the really raunchy like videos, like that I wasn't supposed to see as a child,
Right.
you know. Like they would play like the stuff that was a little quite edgy, like the Nine Inch Nails, things like that, later on, or they would play like concerts and stuff like that. They were a lot more edgy like later on. So I was really kind of inspired by that, like as a kid, like MTV being that in that MTV generation.
Right.
And it kind of to me, music should coexist with some sort of visual. I think that, for the sensory, the sensory overload,
Yeah, yeah.
and I mean, I think in a sense that's still kind of true. However, I think that, I mean, obviously, like I said, for me, it happened in 2010 where I was like, this needs to happen this way. Um, but I think that now it's a lot different, being that, everything is like kind of moved to like shorts and like,
Right.
you have gosh, you have TikTok, you have, all these so many different platforms, and there's I mean, some people, a lot of people are not going to like sit through a 3 minute, 4 minute, sometimes 8 minute. I'm kind of like more like on the 10 minute video,
Right. Yeah,
so
yeah.
because they're just not going to do it. But
Right.
nonetheless, I think that the music, should have should have some sort of visual complement, and sometimes it doesn't marry up. Sometimes, in my opinion, it doesn't marry up to like what like I'm actually feeling. I think it's kind of more about like sort of triggering. It's like, oh, this scene, switched right on the kick, or the scene switched right when the bass came in. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of a little bit more triggering that way. It's just more of like a visual sensation that you're getting, with the music. But sometimes it does. I mean, I think that there's a there's ideas that I do have for video for some of my music that it is gonna kind of marry up and sort of tell a story. But again, I don't want to get too like this is exactly what I'm talking about a lot, because of a lot in part because I want the listener to be able to make of it their own if they can, unless I'm going after something specific where it's like, I want you to hear what I'm saying and feel exactly what I'm saying, because I think that you'll, you know, feel the same way, which I don't find myself in that position a lot. I think that everybody's life experience is so unique, you know.